Hello and welcome to SA Today. Students spend the night in Crouse-Hinds to protest for divestment and transparency. Student Association attends the Beat the Blame game, and it's election day. I'm Gerhard, and this is SA Today. Mondays are usually known to be the Student Association General Assembly meeting around here, and while there still was one, things went a bit different for SA last night. The General Assembly attended the Beat the Blame game event to support victims of sexual assault and to address the culture on campus surrounding the issue. Part of the goal of the event is to inform students about the issues surrounding consent. Well, it's the first Tuesday of November, and that means it's Election Day. Election Day, Decision 2014, it's shaping up to be another crazy election year, specifically in the 24th Congressional District here in Syracuse. John Katko and Dan Maffei are battling for the congressional seat in Washington, and it has been a boxing match so far. Polls have swung 16 points in the last month, and the race has been one of the most important in the country, receiving unprecedented amounts of outside funding. Be sure to tune in to CitrusTV's event coverage from 8 to 9 tonight to follow election results, campaign analysis, and all the major races to watch. While elections continue, several states have already reported voting issues. Georgia's website that lists where voting stations are was unavailable to provide any information this morning. In Connecticut, the governor is asking for polls to be made open longer due to issues this morning. And Virginia received reports of voting machines not even working. Well, coming up on SA Today, Student Association attended the Beat the Blame game event last night, and it's Election Day. Stick around.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 88 children is diagnosed with autism. That's a 1,000% increase in the last 40 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Now it's time for This Week in Bad Stats.
Bad stats?
Horrible stats. Here goes. 132.
That's how many batters struck out 4 times in one game last season.
Wow, very good. Here's a tough one, though. 3 and 4.
No idea.
That's how many kids witness bullying. 3 out of 4.
That's not a good stat.
No, it's not, but it can change. Kids want to help, but they don't know how. Visit stopbullying.gov and give them the tools they need to help prevent bullying.
There are plenty of safe ways kids can help at stopbullying.gov.
Creo que un compañero de clase de mi amigo tiene algo llamado autismo. El hijo del hermano de mi amigo tiene autismo. El hijo de mi vecino tiene autismo.
Mi hijo tiene autismo.
El autismo está cada vez más cerca de casa. Hoy, 1 de cada 88 niños es diagnosticado con autismo, un aumento de 1000% en 40 años. Conoce las señales del autismo. Llama al 888-772-9050.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
Welcome back. Students spent the night in Crouse-Hinds Hall last night to protest diversity and transparency issues. That is our top story tonight. Yesterday afternoon, more than 100 students attended the DAT rally outside Hendricks Chapel. The rally began at 3:30, and by 4:30, the protesters were marching down to Crouse-Hinds. There, they were met with locked doors where they were told they would not be able to enter the building. Within the hour, however, they found their way in and occupied the main lobby and the cubicles along the stairs, hanging signs across the hall. The general body then met with a group of the administrators. Now DAT rally is engaged in a sit-in with a very specific goal in mind. Joining us now are some of the students who are participating in the rally. So I have Nick, Danielle, and Kristen here. I'm sorry, Nick, Kristen, and Danielle.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to have you all on SA Today. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
So if I could start with you first, Danielle. Let's go through the process of how this all happened. It began at Hendricks at 3:30. Could you walk us through from how you got there to where you are now?
Right. DAT rally, which stands for Diversity and Transparency. It started at around 2 o'clock on the quad at Hendricks Chapel, the steps of Hendricks Chapel, and it ended roughly around 4:30 to 4:40. The first hour and a half, we organized a series of organizations and students to come and just express themselves artistically, whether that was through prose, poetry, and song. And so that really was how we wanted people to start gathering at the steps of Hendricks. And then starting at 3:30 on the dot, where you had a list of speakers that were set to rotate every 3 to 5 minutes. And those speakers not only addressed the reason for the Diversity and Transparency Rally, but also how the general body student coalition was formed, what our goals are, our grievances, our demands, and a lot of faculty and staff were able to speak and just give their take on the situation. And we spoke about the history that Syracuse University has of protests and rallies on campus.
So going along with that, Kristen, I'll turn to you now. When the participants, when your group met with administration last night, did you find that it turned out to be successful?
Do you want to address?
No,
Yeah,
if you could take it, I mean, whoever would.
Definitely, right. So the meeting, the way I found out about it is I was tapped on the shoulder by one of the coordinators of the rally, and I was informed that we were invited to come and speak with the administration that was in the building at the time. Or that they could get a hold of. So we, they invited 30 students to come in and talk. We decided to send about 15. So at the end, 17 students went in to speak to administration. The number of administration probably numbered about 6 or 7. And that discussion was very interesting. We discussed the reason that we were there, us as students, the general body. We discussed our document, our website, where you can find the complete and total list of grievances and demands that we've come up with. And we just engaged in a discussion about why all of the demands are important, why we were there, occupying the building, and just really even touched on some of the things in the past, like the posse cuts and the closing of the Advocacy Center and the way that those were handled. And we kind of went back and talked about how those things were addressed. But at the end, we left with contact information and a understanding that we would contact to set up with another meeting where the chancellor was present, because last night he was not in Syracuse. He is now here. And so we're going to go forward on Wednesday with setting up that meeting to meet next and move forward with this movement.
It's important you bring that up because there have been so many issues from the perspective of the student body since Chancellor Ken Sivert has begun his term here at Syracuse, and a lot of these issues have come up. And it sounds like last night or this week in particular, that was when your group really wanted him to be there, so you guys could really get the message out and everything. So going along that, Kristen, how is this? Can you elaborate more on how this message is being spread across campus?
I mean, right now, we're hitting up social media. We're trying to spread the word the best we can. The problem is, and this is one of the issues that we've addressed in the general body, is that the Student Association can't send out a mass email to the student body. So it's really difficult to get collective action. So that's been difficult for us. So really the best way that we can spread this message is mostly through grassroots kinds of processes. So spreading it by word of mouth. I personally I relay all the information to my professors and ask them to talk to their classes, talking about it with different departments, like the geography department is usually very helpful. In doing that, I get up in front of my classrooms and give all these announcements to people. We have a lot of people on PR making flyers to hand out to the student body. So, it's a very long, grueling process. And especially, the rally was a big event for us to try and spread the word about all of these issues, and the sit-in especially, too, to, just gain a lot of attention regarding our grievances and the demands that we want the administration to meet.
Certainly. I mean, it requires tremendous organization and a lot of also participation from your group. You need to get that support to keep it going and keep spreading that message. I'd like to turn it over to Nick now. Nick, can you just kind of give us just what is the ultimate goal here? Just give us, elaborate more on what the ultimate goal is for this rally.
Yeah, so the ultimate goal is to make the administration to be more transparent about their practices and their decision making. A lot of it has not. A lot of the efforts, like closing down the advocacy center or cutting of the PASE funds, were not transparent in any respect. And so we're trying to get the administration to be more transparent and collaborative with the student body. One of the other goals is to just keep diversity as a central point for SU. That's something that I personally am very proud of, and one of the reasons why I came here is because of diverse representation. And we're seeing now different diverse groups being marginalized and being threatened through cuts to essential programs like the Advocacy Center and PASE, and others just being neglected, like the disability community that hasn't gotten an ADA coordinator for 10 years. So we're just being, I would say we're being neglected.
Nick, you raised an interesting point there when you were talking about diversity, and of course, this is a university. The students are the heart of this campus, and if the students' needs aren't being met, it's a very important thing. It's a very important issue to monitor. So the last question, we don't have much time left, but just to wrap this up, I kind of want to open up to all of you. How long do you think this could last?
It really depends on our administration. It depends on how seriously they take us. It depends on how quickly they choose to act on some of the demands that we have. And so we'll find out in the next few days, I guess.
I mean, try to make this quick. A tactic by the administration often is to wait us out as long as possible, because the way that college works, you go through your classes, then you have midterms, then you have breaks, you have finals, and then it's semester break, and then it's summer and people graduate. So we have to make sure that this is a priority that gets that they prioritize this.
Yeah, and we're also looking at this may possibly turn into a longer sustained organization that may last for years to come, and may be a governing body for students of marginalized identities to ensure that their voices are heard.
Terrific. Well, Nick, Kristen, Danielle, thank you so much for having for coming and being on the show. It was a pleasure getting to meet you all and having you on. So best of luck. Coming up next, we'll take another look at what is next on the SU campus. Stay with us.
We are different. Society should aspire to be more like us.
Be part of the first class. Get energized. Get outside.
Hold on, guys. It's gonna get bumpy.
And get moving. Experience the power of physical activity. Join the movement at ActionHeroAlliance.com.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
Welcome back. So before we close off an essay today, I'd like to promote our very special election night coverage event right here on Citrus TV. That's going to be from 8 to 9. Don't miss it. We have a lot of exciting news about the local. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Citrus TV News, and also give us a like on Facebook to keep up with all of the news on campus. I'm Gerhard. Have a great night, Syracuse.